And we are live. Hi everyone, how are we doing today? Of course, we can't have a World Anvil stream without a Boam. I, how is everyone doing today? I see so many wonderful faces in the chat right now. Oh my gosh, I'm very nervous to be here right now. I'm like running my own show right now on this channel. Ooh, you know it's gonna be a good time. To everyone who doesn't know me, hello, my name is Strixxline. I am a World Anvilite, and I love all of you guys. Hi, how's everyone doing? I was invited today to talk about my world building process and just how I do what I do. And I'm gonna have a great time talking to you guys. I actually want to bring up this topic by going further down the world building process to where I started. So, I'm going to be showing you guys one of the projects that I completed years ago that actually kind of kickstarted my whole like active world building process, and so that's very exciting. So how is everybody doing today? I see, of course, Tillers. I see Tillers. Hello, how are you? Judas Brennan. Hello, how are you? Katoblapan. Hi. Dark Elf Twilight. Thinking about evolving your conlang. Very cool. I mean, don't let my stream stop you. For sure work on that yourself too. Let's see who else. Mystical Cub said hello. Hi, how are you? And then Laura Bones came in with the pre-stream raid. Hello. Let's see, Mochi Manoban, of course, is also here. Kitoi Poi is here. ECC Books, hello. And who else? 101 Colonel is also here, and Elioriona also, hi. I'm very excited. I'm very glad to be talking to you guys. And so yeah, world building process. My world building process has kind of been all over the place. Like I got started years ago, actually, with my project. Malkora is like 5 years old at this point, and I will show you, for those of you who aren't familiar with my world. This is Malkora, pointing the wrong direction. This is Malkora over here. My very own world on WorldAnvil. Tillers is a duck. That's true. And I'm going to I'm just gonna kind of throw this your way, so if anyone wants to check out my world, you are more than welcome to. But this is it. This is the world that I've been working on for 5 years and counting. I look forward to all of the years that I may continue this project. And it has come a long way. It has come a very long way, in fact, from the world that I started out with ages ago. And actually, fun fact, this world was actually a part of my college thesis. Oh, and Strixxline, what did you write today? I must confess, today I have not written anything. Today I've just been kind of hanging out. I woke up ungodly early today. I have been awake actually since about 3 a.m. And that is because I went to bed I went to bed after I came home from work. This is like 5 o'clock. I woke up at 3. And so I've just been awake since then, because, you know, you take a 10-hour power nap and you're ready to face the day. We all know this. It's very aesthetically pleasing. Thank you so much. I've put so much effort into making this world look pretty, and I mean it paid off, because I did win Most Beautiful World this year. Oh my gosh, you guys, I really appreciate all the votes. Really crazy. Emily, hello! How are you? We were just getting into the world and what's going on. You won some prizes for that, yeah. Really crazy. But yeah, so I wanted to go into the very first project that sort of kickstarted my world building adventure, and I'm thinking maybe from some of that you guys can get some insights into different ways of thinking about your world building and kind of where to start, where to go. Because my world building pretty much started in college, where I was starting to really get into the idea of like concept art and role-playing games and all that kind of awesome stuff. ECC Books, subscribing, yeah, here you go. And so, my thesis project was actually a book. And it was this book right... Which way am I pointing? This way? This way was this book right here. I want to point this way because I'm looking at this screen. But yeah, actually for my thesis project in college, I made a book about character design and world building, and it revolved around a D&D game that we'd been running for like 2 years at that point. And so where I really got started in my world building was taking D&D characters that we were running and then trying to conceptualize who these characters would be and what they would look like in my own world. So I have... Let's just pop on over to who my character was. And there she is. See the Canadian silver toonie? Ooh. Yeah, but this here, my baby girl, Katiana, she was one of my favorite characters that I ever roleplayed in D&D. She's so great, and so she was one of the subjects of this book that I basically said, okay, so this is who the character is in the context of D&D. Who would this character be in the context of Malkora? So of course, in D&D, we have elves, we have half-elves, we have like all kinds of different races. Well, none of those things really exist in Malkora. At least, maybe they used to when I first got started, but they don't anymore. But of course, that was after this project. So much has changed since I did this project. Character looks like you. Oh. I mean, yeah, kinda, a little bit. I mean, I feel like all of our earliest characters are self-inserts in a way. But yeah. So, in D&D, who this character was. She was a half-elf warlock who believed that she was a cleric, actually. Because what she did when she was younger, she found a coin that looked very similar to a god's holy symbol. And then she started hearing the voice of some entity that claimed to be that god. And so, through this entity, she gained power, but she fully believed that she was talking to a god, and thus believed herself to be a cleric. Tillers. Yeah, and so I had to start thinking about what this would look like in the context of my own world. And so, of course, now some of this information is outdated, but this is where I started to think, like, okay, so elves. What would the elves within my world look like? Like, who are these people? What are they like? What do they do? How do they live? And so even though today I have kind of moved away from using the like classic D&D races, that still built a very strong foundation for the races that do actually exist in my world. And so not only did I go into what this race would be like, I also went into what life as like she was a half-elf, so like what would life as a half-elf be like in this world? Because obviously in a lot of settings where races can like be, you know, like half of this, half of that, sometimes the way you're treated in society is a little different. And so I wanted to kind of imagine, like, what would that be like, actually, to be like that in this world? Yellow and blue. Definitely a self-insert. Yeah, see, making characters in D&D is so much fun. It's all just, you're either a self-insert or it's just like something so astronomically out of this world that when you dig really deep beneath all the layers, it actually is just you, just with fancier clothes. My first D&D character was most untraditional. My brother, blame him. And yes, so this also, we had several other characters. Just followed Malkora on Anvil and Strixxline on Twitter and Mochi and yeah. Thank you for all the follows and thank you for sharing the love with more than just myself. There are lots of wonderful people in this chat right now. I think I think everyone in this chat deserves to be followed and looked at in their writing. It's also good. And of course, we have another character from this campaign. He was an ASMR paladin. And of course, we know how those go. So I had to sit there and think, like, okay, so this is someone who is of divine blood. And so, oh, Gunslinging Poto just joined. What's going on? What's going on is I am taking over the stream and I'm talking about where I got started in my world building and the very first project I ever did that kind of kicked off my world and where I am today. And we're also talking about how we all have self-insert characters in D&D. Oh, Katoy voice. It's how we get to talk to ourselves without looking nuts. Absolutely. I love that take, actually. I've never heard anyone say that before. Yes, and so this character right here, Trineros, he was the inspiration behind me having the Faith Kept, kind of like subclass of people in my world who are of divine blood. And that, of course, has transitioned into not only do we have people of like divine blood, we have the 3 different schools of magic to which these people, belong. We have the divine magic, we have the arcane magic, and we have the elemental magic. And so this one idea spiraled into like 2 others, and frankly, more than just 2 others, but 2 more categories that all go together. And then a billion other ideas. And those billion other ideas are the most important part because they leave so much open for more stuff to happen. And so, of course, we have this guy. This guy was also a fair example of how ASMR paladins are actually a little broken, especially in early game D&D. I don't know how they are beyond level 9, because I think that's as far as we got, but still. And yeah, so this character is what inspired the Faith Kept, the divine people of Malkora. And so with him, I also had to think of, well, clearly he is very devoted to a god. Who would that god be in my world? What would he represent? How would this work? How would this faith work? How would being a paladin work in my world? And if we jump way far down below, this is actually where we got one of my first gods in my world named Asimus, although he's no longer called that. We did move away from that. I think I've renamed him now to Atremus. I just thought it was fun. And so we have the burning silver hammer, and that is his symbol. And Katiana's god up there that she thought she was talking to, she believed she was speaking to this god, is actually Bogara, the fortune hunter. And that is what her coin looks like that she found. But oh no, she didn't actually pick up that coin. She picked up a slightly different one. Is that the one here? Yes, she picked up this one that was a lot more elven in feature. It didn't have like these orcish tusks or anything on it, and it was also a little chewed up. It had these little divots and little bite marks in it. Her Bogara is known to leave kind of like breadcrumbs of coins for adventurers and her faithful to follow that lead them to treasures. Now, these coins don't really have any value in themselves because they disappear after a time. But her coin never disappeared. She's got to keep it forever. And of course, 2 things. The fact that her coin lasted forever, and the fact that her coin was all beat up, chewed up, and a little different, actually. Should have hinted to her that maybe this wasn't what she thought it was, but that's fine, right? We don't need everything to be like we think it is. And so this is just one of my, I gush about this project all the time because I just love it so much. It was one of my favorite things to work on. We have coins. Like, the whole premise of this campaign was actually that each of the characters found a coin of some kind at some point in their life. And this was like their common link. They just had this weird coin that over the course of their lives they just had it. They don't know where it came from. It doesn't really remind them of, or it doesn't look exactly like any actual coin that would exist in the world. And so, even that on its own gave a lot of room for just world building. Like, what do coins look like in this world? What does money look like? And so much information, so much world building has just come from looking at different characters that exist outside the world and trying to translate them into what your world looks like. This world building is so fun. You just get so many ideas, so many different things that you can think of, so many things that you can play with and mess around with. Those coins are a nice idea. I'll use something like that. Not coins though, just some other thing instead. Yeah, there's so many different things that you can do this with. It doesn't have to be coins, it could be really anything. Maybe everyone in the party has had a silly hat for their entire life that they just can't seem to get rid of. What do actual coinage look like in Malkora? That's a good question. I will have to develop that soon. Really, in making this project, I've developed what certain coins in Malkora don't look like. The only officially, like, this is exactly what this coin looks like that I have right now is indeed the token of Bogara that I was just having a peep at, and that's these down here. Of course, so many of the ideas are like, they're in here, you know what I mean? But it is the year 2023. We are finally putting all of our ideas on paper, or in this case on WorldAnvil. So but I would really like it absolutely, I really would like to sit down one day and just think about, like, okay, what do the coins look like? Especially since I'm finally settling on developing a specific part of my world. I want to know what the money looks like. I want to know what the money looks like. I want to know what the people look like. I want to know what the buildings look like. How did the architects design their facades, you know? There's so many avenues. There's so many things. Who did the coin of Bogar? Did you do your own art? Yes. Everything that you see here in this project is all my own art. Yeah, I did all of this myself. This was my thesis project in art school, actually. And so it's just this whole 80-page collection of art and world building. The exception is this little portrait down here. This was done by one of our players, actually. And it's it was the god that the paladin, or archangel that the paladin was faithful to. Oh, silly hats. It's a good thing for a group of gnomes, or weird tools they don't know what they're being used for yet. Oh, that's really fun. I love the idea of having, like, a tool, a thing in your life that, like, you have no idea, no concept of what it actually does or what it means, but then you hold on to it just in case. I think we all have something like that in our own homes. We don't know what we're gonna do with it, we don't know what it's for, but we have it just in case. I'm trying to think off the top of my head what something in my own home that serves that purpose would be. I don't know that there's anything in reach like that. I did just move, so everything random is probably still in a box somewhere, so we won't think about it too much. Jars? Okay, yes, I do have a lot of jars. But at least with a jar, I know what its purpose is. Like, I know what I could do with it. I know what I should do with it. But I'm talking, like, something, like, you don't know the purpose of this thing. Yes, children. Oh no. Eyes my scrap metal collection nervously. Yeah, scrap metal collection for sure. Don't know what you're gonna do with it, don't know what it could be used for, but there's something in there you could maybe figure out one day. Reminds me of a movie my dad told me about. The Gods Must Be Crazy. It's apparently about a Coca-Cola bottle that washes up on the shore of this uncontacted tribe. They use the bottle as a multi-purpose tool. Ooh. That's interesting. I've never seen that movie. It's a magical steampunk world, so maybe the tools are keys for some forgotten enclosure with ancient machines. Ooh. Also very cool. Yeah, so there are so many things. If you take a character-first approach to world building, which essentially is what I've done, you are able to just come up with so many ideas as you try to explain how that character exists in your world. So you can come up with any archetype, any kind of character, and you can say, okay, so I want a character that looks like this or does this. How would that function in my world? Like you take any archetype, like you're playing a D&D game, and you really like a character, and you would like to translate that into a character for your world. Well, you think, okay, so this character is, we'll say they're a ranger. Bow and arrow, maybe they have a creature companion. Where or how in the world would a profession like that exist and be viable? Where are rangers needed? What kind of creatures live in this region, per se, if you've chosen one, that could be a ranger's companion? Would they be a wild one? Would they be one that's, like, bred in captivity, trained to be your companion? You know, there's all these kinds of questions. And also maybe you say, okay, well, this is what a ranger would look like in this region of the world. But what about this other region of the world? Maybe between different regions there's, you know, different animals, different lifestyles, there's different challenges that might get in the way of being a ranger or help you or encourage you to be a ranger. You know, like there's, yeah, like Dark Elf Twilight says, yeah, I've often said that characters drive plot. I guess characters can ask world building questions too. Yeah, absolutely. Like there are so many things that characters do that, like, you have to explain them somehow. Like maybe, like, does your character have a favorite food? Where is that food from? What ingredients are in that food? Where do they get those ingredients? Who makes this primarily? Could you buy this at like a local restaurant, or is it like their mom's special recipe that no one knows about? There's just so many questions that you can ask about one silly little detail of a character. Where do they get their clothes from? Who made their armor? Where do they go on their first date? Where would they go on their next date? Just silly little questions. Drunken Panda sneaks into stream while waiting for delayed flight. Oh no. Oh no, I've done nothing with food yet in my world. I've only done a little bit with food in my world so far. There's so many things I've done precious little with, and so many things I've just kind of like dived right into. It's hard being a world builder, isn't it, sometimes? There's just so many options and so many things to do. Yeah, paying culinary world builders. Yeah, you'll get so many ideas. Honestly, it's Emily Armstrong that's doing Culinary Punk, right? I'm sure there's gonna be lots of inspiration in there for you. Yeah, so just ask questions about your characters. Make up characters to ask questions about. That's basically what we did with our D&D characters. Sorry, I mentioned DR, that's a LARP. But yeah, we spent 2 years bringing D&D characters to life in a campaign. And so I just decided, okay, well, let's take 2 years of character development and turn that into world building. You're not alone, I haven't touched food either. Oh no. Hey, DR representation, hey. Yeah, so it seems complicated. I assume you're talking about, like, the character thing that I just said, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of complicated stuff in world building, I'm gonna be honest with you. Proud Remnant. Hey, I used to be on Remnant Squad too. Used to be. Now I'm not, but I kind of want to go back, so that's a whole conversation. Different place, different time. Oh no, I've lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, there's so much complicated in world building. There's no sippy button here. Oh yeah, I know. Hi Strixxline, hopefully your travel goes better than mine is right now. I pray that my travel goes okay. We're already going to be at the airport very late. Uh, not very late. We'll be arriving very late. Um, it's if something goes wrong with this travel, I'm going to be in a tizzy. I've been in a tizzy about even preparing for it. If something goes wrong, I will just oh, but Prippy Monty Poppycock, yes, for sure. Oh, did you hydrate yet? Yes, I was about to say actually, since Prippy Monty Poppycock has come lamenting that there is no sippy button here, because on my channel, when I stream, I have a button that you can press, like, you know, redeem channel points, and it makes me take a sip. And so I take a sip in your honor, and also because Tiller has asked, I also take a sip. My viewers bully me with that button. Refresh yourself. Yes, it plays a little sound alert saying refresh yourself every single time. But yes. Yeah, actually, today, after this stream, of course, I have to pack everything for my upcoming trip. Because I too will be flying over to the West Coast. Although, regrettably, it is going to be after the Los Angeles meetup. Which is very sad, but, you know, life. That's just how it is. Is it bullying or is it love? It's a little bit of both. They really like to spam the button when I'm playing a game. And when I'm literally trying to do combat and stuff, so it's a lot of screaming. It's really good. But yes, I too will be going to the West Coast, much like Janet and Dimmy and several other people in this community. I'm very excited. Even though I'm going to be missing the official meetups that we're doing, like the community meetups, I'm hoping that I will still get to see some wonderful Anvilites out in my travels. I may have finished packing about 30 minutes before leaving the airport. Oh no. Yeah, that's maybe not ideal, but it's okay. I'm probably gonna be the same way. Although I can't do that because I have to drive 4 hours to my partner's home before we can go then to the airport. So if I do it half an hour before, we're in trouble. We will be having a very bad time. Oh. And yes. I tried to pack the whole night before and didn't go to sleep. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, see, I did the opposite. I got 10 hours of sleep. I'm doing great. It just happened to be at a really weird set of hours. Oh, Katoy boy, I was legit looking at tickets to the West Coast, but decided I should be a responsible adult instead. Crying a little inside. Oh, I totally get it. This is actually going to be my first vacation in a very long time. Like, I do not recall the last time I took a vacation, like a real proper vacation with like rest and relaxation and like an away trip, you know what I mean? And it's so crazy being an adult now because I paid for it myself. Aside from the tickets that I won in summer camp, it still cost quite a bit of money to, you know, shuttle myself over there. But still. I saw them in Miami last year, so I'll wait till they're on the East Coast. Yeah, I saw them in New York City for summer camp meetup, and I'm hoping that we can do it again this year. Oh, try to pack a single carry-on, but the need for an extra. But then need an extra for the clothes I buy. Oh, yeah, I really hope that I don't accidentally end up buying a whole bunch of stuff that I then have to like pack extra to bring home. I'm hoping I don't. I'm hoping we're saving money. We've already spent so much on this trip. We cannot be doing this anymore. Yeah, so I really encourage, like, because I love this project that I did so much and how much it has helped me in my world building, I really recommend that everyone does some manner of creative project with their world building and see what kind of questions you can ask yourself and see what you can develop over time. And just ask questions. Make things and create things that spawn a billion other questions about a billion other things. It's so much fun to go into like your own rabbit hole of information and writing and world building. Eliariona says I need to draw more. Yes, everyone should draw more. Everyone should make beautiful things. Even if you believe yourself to not be an artist, that doesn't matter. If you make an art, you are an artist. That's all that matters. I love the layout of this page. Oh, thank you. Yeah, okay. ECC Book says, I feel your pain to Ketoipoi. I also saw them last year and they reassured me that I was a good person, so I'll try to believe they don't hate me until I can be reassured in person again on the East Coast eventually. Yeah, honestly, I met Demi and Janet also in New York City with ECC Books. They were such lovely human beings. They were so nice to me. They encouraged me so much to just do stuff. It was so heartwarming. It made me feel really good on the inside and definitely encouraged me to, really dive headfirst into creating again. Very exciting. Judas Brennan says, I can't draw stick figures. Well, listen, you keep drawing stick figures long enough, and eventually you'll learn how to put a face on that stick figure, and then the evolution just carries on from there. Makes it so much easier, actually. Listen, I've said it time and time again, not here, but like in general. As an artist myself, I got started not knowing also how to make a stick figure. That was the height of my artistic ability. But now here I am. I'm just doing stuff. I'm just making art. I'm making designs. I drew this like 4 years ago, and it's only gotten better since. Like being a creative of any kind, whether it's visual, if you're writing something, if you're, making music, anything. Whatever it is that you're doing, you will only get better with time. All that matters is that you practice and that you actually, want to do this thing that you're trying to do. And the more you pour into it, the more you're going to get out. And at least that's been my experience. I started off as a little kid who was absolutely horrendous at art. I was also doing like really, really cringy manga, and I say cringy because it was like bad. Like it was not good. Like I was that kid in middle school doing like weird anime drawings that had all the weird bad proportions and all that kind of stuff. But you know what? I love doing it. And so I kept doing it. And eventually I learned that, anatomy doesn't do that. Anatomy doesn't work that way. And so eventually I was like, okay, so how does it work? And then you just start drawing more, and then you start realizing, like, oh, that's how it works. This is how it happens. Arms don't go like all these weird directions, although maybe they can, things can get awkward and weird. But I digress. The human body is a very strange thing. It can pose in a lot of weird ways that even the artist would have you believe they shouldn't, but it's okay. Yes, references are key. I see a lot of people often worrying that like using references or anything like that is like cheating in some way. No, absolutely not. Especially if you're only using something to practice, I would even say that tracing is okay. Tracing is fine. If you're like trying to practice, if you're trying to learn how things work, if you're trying to learn how proportions work and how to get like a feel for the way you're supposed to draw, like trace stuff, man. It's only going to help you in the long run. Just, you know, if you trace something, maybe don't post it up later like, hey, I drew this myself. No help. um, but of course, referencing is different. Like, I would recommend you use references for literally everything. References only help you. You may eventually reach a point where you kind of don't need them anymore, and you know, a lot of people do, but they always help. Sometimes even the things that you're very confident about, sometimes a reference will just elevate you even further because the human brain is silly. We don't always remember all of the things. So, Don Master says, yeah, my first WorldAnvil live. Hello, I'm so honored to be the person hosting your first WorldAnvil live. Welcome. I hope you are doing well today. Yes, I will always encourage everyone, no matter how bad you think your art is, just do the art. Just do the drawing. It'll be so good. And even if the art itself isn't good, the process will be good for you. You're going to learn so much from every single individual piece that you do, which is why it's so important to just keep drawing, just keep sketching, keep doing whatever creative little thing that you're trying to do. Just keep doing it rapid fire. Do a whole bunch of them. Do a whole bunch of iterations. Do, like, you know, you see all these artists in, like, in media, in, like, TV shows, cartoons, whatever, like, they draw something, they hate it, they crumple it up, they throw it away, and then you look over and there's, like, this mountain of crumpled pieces of paper. You gotta work in quantity. You gotta nail the quantity before you can get the quality. And so, like, yeah, it's a very long process. It can be very frustrating, but it works. You'll eventually get there. Yeah. Dark Elf Twilight says, I feel like my own art can be used at least as references to commission artists to do it the way I really want. Yeah, exactly. Like, if you're able to just draw up a sketch for an artist, like, I promise you, first of all, the artist will absolutely love you for providing your own references. It really helps them formulate an idea of, like, what you actually want to see out of a commission. Like, I speak from experience as someone who has done in the past many art commissions, continues to do a lot of art commissions. It makes life so much easier for the both of us, like both sides of the transaction, for the artist to know what's going on. And then it's just that much easier for your vision to be realized. Let's see, I found a dwarf design online I really liked and basically copied the whole thing freehand, posted with a link to the original art. Yeah, absolutely. Like, if your art is very, very heavily, like, inspired by something, just throw in, like, a little credit. Throw in a little attribution like, hey, I got this idea from this thing. And I really love this thing, so here, look at my version of it, but also know that this is the real, like, the thing that I got this idea from. So here, check it out. Give credit where credit is due. It's it is sometimes very difficult as an artist, because, you know, things kind of get just, like, taken and posted around with no credit all the time. Whatever. So we really appreciate when you, like, post something up and be like, this person made this, or this was inspired by this person's work, and this is the one who made it, and this is where it is. And I love the little love train happening in the chat right now. Daz, Kit, Daz, ECC! You guys are so wonderful. Oh. So yes, I would really love to know from all of you in chat, what is your current creative project that you are working on? It can be anything. It can be a written project, it can be a drawn project. I know a lot of people were just working on Artisan April stuff, and so I myself am very intrigued to know what everyone's been working on. Of course, I, as one of the judges, too many things at once. Oh yeah. And get Toy Boy, finish your tarot deck. Moving on to Adventure April. Yes, very exciting. Dazzling Cats, addicted to Euroforge. Adventure April encounter tables for fun fey things, says Drunken Panda. Until there's no project so far. I just wrote about slimes because Mochi did. Now I'm just sitting here idling. Oh. Dungeon Mast is making a battle map with Incarnate for a possible upcoming Kickstarter. Ooh, that's very exciting. It's an Acid River combat encounter. That's real cool. Carving away with the Artisan April challenge. Thank the gods for the extended deadline. Absolutely. I always know that with challenges, people love getting a little extra time tacked on. Because goodness knows, me with my ADHD, I don't finish things until like the last day to do those things. So, hee. ECC Books says, I'm working on a potential graphic novel called The Blood of Seven Queens. I just got encouraged to submit an art project I just finished, artists in April. Ooh, very fun. Let's see. My Adventure April entry in my Camp Nano project. Mochi wants to participate in artists in April, but I don't have any ideas. Oh no. Listen, with all the creatures that you've been drawing, I feel like you could put together a pretty good bestiary. Just like a physical little notebook that you can just flip through. That one's up to you. Ooh. Emily's making a big group portrait for artists in April. And it turns so delete. Oh no. Cedra Hanet's updating a 300-year-old house in my current project. Ooh. That's cool. It's actually really cool. Josh Knox Chinnery says, my big project is short stories featuring creatures and phenomena in my world as encountered by a field researcher. They'll be made into narrated videos with some art to go along with them. Oh, that's really cool. Mochi, why did I not think of that? Oh no. I mean, hey, at least now you have an idea. Oh, Emily, you spent the whole afternoon drafting just one character? Oh. No idea if I can get the other 8 characters by tomorrow evening. Listen, I'm sure you can do wonderful things within the time that we have left, and who knows? If you don't finish it by the deadline, you can just say this is an unfinished portrait in the real world. Or I should say it's an unfinished portrait in your world. That could be a very fun way to take that. And then of course you can finish it at a later time. Isn't they doing a similar thing as well with the bestiary? I don't know. Could very well be happening. I've been trying not to peek too much at all the entries. I just kind of want to look at all of them together when everything's all finished. But hey, with bestiaries, I always say the more the merrier. I love me a good bestiary. Yeah, so current projects. I have to actually sit and kind of think about what mine is. Well, I will say the obvious one, Adventure April. I am of course still working on my Adventure April one-shot. And I actually did a little bit of art for it. Let me see if I can summon it real quick. Let's see. We have, oh gosh. Please. Google's not working for me. The internet's hard. Look at this guy. I was playing around with some sketch portraits for my potential NPCs for my little one shot. So we have this guy. Oh my gosh, why did it open over there? Over here, please. And we have this one as well. It's Happy Beard and Happy Smile. Yes, this person is the opposite of that. This one's looking a little sullen, a little down. And so I just have these two characters here. And I don't know exactly who they're going to be and what they're going to do for the little one-shot, but I figure these two are both going to be NPCs in my one-shot in some capacity, in some way. Maybe one of them will be giving the quest, maybe one of them will be like coming along on the quest, or any number of things. Any number of things could happen. And this was another one of those fun little examples of character-driven world building where I had to sit and think, like, okay, first of all, what would a person in this region of my world look like? Who are these people? What would they look like? What's a common hair color for someone in this part of the world? What's a common skin color for someone in this world or this part of the world? Would it matter? Would it be like very mixed? Would it be very homogenous? Would it be just any number of questions? It's like, what is the culture like in this part of the world? What would they wear normally? Like, I had questions while drawing this one, like, would a necklace like this be common? Would this be a tell that maybe they're a little bit wealthier than the rest of their clothes suggest? So yeah, sometimes even with art, you'll just draw up a person and be like, okay, I did this thing with this person. I did this thing with this character. Is this a normal thing? Is this a common thing? Is their clothing normal for where they're from? Is their clothing strange or outlandish for where they're from? There's a lot of different avenues. So many different ways that this can go. Dazenka made their Big Bad Evil pirate captain for their one-shot. Ooh. That's very fun. I'm ready to restart thinking about my serial killer that hunts constructed people. Ooh. Now that's spooky. I love it. Absolutely work on that. He kills sentient constructs and robots. He's called the Can Opener. I love that. I thought serial killer was when they leave body in a bathtub of milk. Oh no. This is not the pungent. Although, I won't turn down some good puns. I think they're great. I think they're very funny. The best pun is one that just leaves everyone in the room looking like, oh, you know? You just... That's how you know you've won. When you told a pun that just everyone, head in hands, maybe they're like so disturbed that like your hair, they're pushing their hair back like, oh man. Rust monster is a pet. Ooh. Also the thing that players fear the most? What is that? Reading their spells? I'm guilty. I can make fun. Well, you know, I once entered 10 puns in a pun writing contest, just hoping one would win. But no pun intended. Oh no. A rust monster will eat all their precious weapons and armor. True. Not if you're a Leshy druid, all wood and plant. Hey, true. Man, unless they've gotten a taste for wood, but I can't say that. But Leshies are so cool. Gosh, what game? Was it Monster Hunter that had the, Geralt? You can go hunt the Leshy? I don't remember. I just know that it was really scary and I never finished it. I have a pun that comes with the whole story, but I'll tell it off stream. Don't want to distract. Oh, well, then I look forward to this then. The Witcher is Geralt. Yes, but I mean, like, I know there's a game that did, like, a crossover where they had, like, a mission, a Witcher mission, and I think that was Monster Hunter. I debate on doing April one-shot. I mean, I would certainly recommend it. Just give it a try, give it a little whirl. I think, like, the most fun thing about challenges on World Anvil is just trying something new. She's our PF2, though. Oh. Might have been Monster Hunter. Yeah, I think it was. And I think the reason I struggled so much with it is because you have to play as Geralt, so you don't get your own build and like weapons that you're used to. I'm pretty sure that's how that worked. Is is scary and difficult. Uncle Toy Play, gotta run, watch Mario with my youngest kid. Oh, have fun! We're gonna go see Mario soon, I think. So it'll be a lot of fun. Yes, yeah, bye, Toy Play. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping by and chatting. I love all your ideas, and I love your tarot cards. Yes, if you're not participating in Adventure April, I'd recommend that you do it. Just for fun. Even if you don't end up with like a fully fleshed out finished product, I think just the experience of writing your own one-shot just seems really fun and really cool. And so that's why I'm trying to participate in it this year. It's something I've never done before. Never written a one-shot once in my life. The closest I've come is like writing 3 different D&D sessions in a campaign that just kind of got cut short. So I have a little bit, like the tiniest sliver of experience running a game. And so I can at least vaguely understand how to put together a little story, a little challenge. And so, much like the characters that I was showing you guys earlier, helping me to develop my world through, them and through the context of what they are, I'm also going to be using this one-shot, this adventure, this idea, to open up more questions and hopefully answers about what my world is like, what exists there, how things go, and what needs to play out naturally in this world in order for the premise of this adventure to make sense and to function. And so yeah, so I have to wonder, like, what kind of person would be giving a quest to a bunch of adventurers? How would a bunch of adventurers get together in my world? How would this happen? You know how a board game works, make it like that. Add some random events, maybe, random, to certain fields on the map and go. As someone who's never played D&D, it's a fun challenge. Yeah, like I just think that putting together an adventure sounds really cool. I don't know yet if I'm going to make it, I don't know if I'm going to make it like a 5e adventure. It's the only system that I know. So if I'm going to add a system to my adventure, it's probably going to be 5e. It's just what I know. Part of me is like, what if I just kind of leave it narrative only? Like, no mechanics, none of that. Just kind of leave it up to narrative. Maybe include some roll tables to get some of that randomness going. See what people can, throw at their players if they don't know exactly what to do. But as far as how combat works and how we're going to get from point A to point B and all that kind of stuff, like, I'm not very mechanics minded. I'm really just kind of story and world building driven. And so if eventually someone wants to run it, maybe we'll find a way to put a system to it. Reminds me of how a few D&D personalities, Jenny D, Bandit's Keep, I think Matt Colville, all suggested playing solo D&D, just yourself as both DM and player to help world build or write. Yeah, absolutely. And there are a lot of people who are tackling Adventure April with solo adventures, solo RPGs, just like little solo adventure one shots, and that is so cool. I I feel like that process would be a lot more involved, like on my end. So I don't think I'm going to do that for this challenge. But I would love one day to make like your own, like choose your own path adventure, like just one on one, just you and this adventure, and see where you go. That might be one of my next goals. But we'll see how Adventure April goes, and we'll see what we come up with at the end of that. It'll be a lot of fun. I I just cannot stress enough. Whatever you're doing, whatever you're world building, just make sure you're having fun. Make sure that whenever you see the stuff that you're working on, you feel like, yes, I want to be doing this. I like doing this. And this whole process like fills me with joy, you know? And that is not to say that you can never feel demotivated or a little like disappointed, struggle to find ideas. That happens with every creative venture out there. There are just going to be days where you cannot for the life of you muster up like the motivation to just do the thing. Some days you're just not going to want to write. Some days you're going to be really frustrated with yourself while you try to draw something. That's just how it goes. Anything that you do consistently for any period of time is eventually going to frustrate you very much. It's just that underlying joy of doing that thing that should tell you, hey, we're just having a bad day. Don't quit this because you know you love it. You will be up and running again in no time at all. Just maybe this is your sign to take a break. Go get yourself like a tasty little snack. Go do something else that you enjoy for a little bit. Or go do something that turns your brain off. Go play Minecraft for 12 hours. Maybe don't do that depending on your schedule. I don't know what you're up to, but like sometimes if I just can't muster up the energy to do something, to draw, to be creative, to work on stuff that I need to work on, I'll just be like, okay, I need to turn my brain off. I'm just gonna go play Stardew Valley and fish. I'm just going to fish. That is it. And you know what? I go do that. I play my funny little fishing game. Or yes, I pull my little Minecraft all-nighter. And then after that, I'm like, yeah, a little hard reset on my brain. Oh, I've become addicted to Minecraft lately again. Yeah, see, one of my friends has invited me to their friend's Minecraft server. It's all it's all been downhill from there with my time management. I will get home, I will get on Minecraft, and I will play Minecraft until it is very late, and then I go to bed. I go to work, I come back home, I play more Minecraft, and then I go to bed. I go to work, I come back home, I play more Minecraft. It's very dangerous. I It's very dangerous. I have so much stuff that I need to do that isn't Minecraft. But here I am playing Minecraft like a little dummy. Minecraft is concerningly addictive. It is. But it's like it's concerningly addictive, but it's so fun. It's nice. I get to build the fun little things, little houses. I get to trade with my villager friends. And they just look at me, they go, huh? 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 You know? Thanks for the stream and a bit into your world. See you later. Thank you for stopping by and thank you for the nice words. I will see you around. I will see all of you around in the community. You're always welcome to just like say hello. I'm very shy. I'm very awkward. And so a lot of the time I'll just like pop my head in and be like, hello. And then just kind of not know what else to say, but I'll be there. I'll be there lurking. Yes, I'm a shy bean. I'm a nervous bean. Just riddled with anxiety. But that's just how it goes. I'm just a little nerd creature who's happy to be here. That's really all it is. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys all just like coming and hang out with me today. It's not very often that I get to just kind of sit and talk about like, my work, the stuff that I do. And yeah. I wonder if I can use my creations in the other ideas of Minecraft, my D&D games. I mean, maybe. I feel like building in Minecraft could come with a lot of opportunities to explore architecture. Like you can explore the way your cities are built, the way settlements are organized, the way buildings look, the way just all the aesthetics of a town. Like especially if you get modded Minecraft and you just open up the floodgates to a bajillion other different textured blocks. You can make so many ideas come to life in Minecraft. Maybe someone's gonna have to maybe someone's gonna have to come back onto the stream at some point. Maybe not myself, because I don't have a lot of experience in this specifically. But someone should come on here for sure with a stream on how to use Minecraft to help you world build. Wouldn't that be such a fun topic? See, all it is actually is just we get a bunch of people who are going to stream into like a little Minecraft server let's play, and it's just like a couple hours of people just building stuff on Minecraft and talking about how it helps their world building. Listen, it could be very fun. It could be very exciting. But yeah, I so appreciate just this opportunity to kind of talk about this little project and some of the earliest works of art that related to my world. Like this is where it started, and of course, I have some of the earliest little incarnate map of my world. Like that's not even done yet. It just has like the big three zones of my world as they existed at the earliest stages of its development. So we just have these three zones in this corner, and this is where I started. This is what I started developing. And one of those three key regions that I started off my world with was actually this one that I had rewritten during World Ember. And so that is another fun thing about challenges. Like just rewrite your old stuff when it becomes outdated and not good anymore. Like I renamed this place, I rebranded it, I made everything new. So the Kingdom of Arsavella is actually one of my oldest regions in Malkora, as far as being written. Yeah, of course. There's the map. It's very different now than it was back when I first created this place. For one thing, it used to be like in the equivalent of the landmass, it used to be like over here and nowhere else. But now it's like this whole thing. But yeah. I will just drop this in here for anyone who seeks to go take a peek at this article. It is one of my favorites, of course, it is one of my newer articles. And so it's laid out all nice. Oh no, why am I not scrolling? Okay, there we go. And so yeah, this is one of my favorite new articles, and again, this is one of the articles whose concept spawned at like the very beginning of my world building process, so it's a 5-year-old concept at this point. And so it's always really fun to see where you come from as a writer, as a world builder, and seeing where it's gonna go in the future. I've rewritten this, I'm rewriting a bunch of other things. It's gonna be so much fun, it's gonna be so cool. And this kingdom is going to be where I set my Adventure April one-shot. So, yeah. I think I think this may be a good time to just to call it here. I once again thank everyone who has come out to the stream for coming and hanging out with me and just kind of letting me ramble to you about my world building process. I get I was so nervous coming onto the stream. I get so anxious like talking to people about stuff. But I had a lot of fun. The chat was wonderful. I love getting to talk to you guys. I love getting to hear all about your fun projects. And I look forward to the next time I get to just hang out with everybody. Very helpful. You were great. Oh, thank you. Thanks for the stream. It was nice hearing you talk about your world building. Yay! What a great stream. Oh, thank you guys so much. Yeah, so I don't know when the next time I may appear in a WorldAnvil official stream may be. But I do know that my regular streams are going to resume, oh man, in like 2 weeks at this point. Gosh, let me see the calendar. So all of next week, I will be gone. I will be away. I'm going to say, actually, yeah, I'm going to say my next stream is going to be on the 29th. In 2 weeks. 2 weeks from now, I'll be back home from my adventure, hopefully not looking like a lobster from sitting out in the sun. I am very pale. But yeah, if you want to check out what I'm doing and who I am, you are more than welcome to, let me grab my little author page for you. You are more than welcome to come check out what I do over on WorldAnvil. That's my author page. And, yeah, I once again thank everyone. You're telling me thank you, you're telling me I'm great, I'm telling you you're great, and thank you for coming and watching, and thank you for making this community the wonderful thing that it is. So, oh, and of course, we cannot end a WorldAnvil stream without grabbing our hammers. So everyone, find your hammers. Today it's going to be this container of dice. Are you ready, everyone? Hold on, let me get myself up here. Hello. Everyone, have you grabbed your hammers? Well, ready or not, grab your hammers and go world build, everybody! Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Much love to everyone. Goodbye!